Unit 1, Section 4.2 Worked Examples. Complete the expanded notation for 23,716. So expanded notation is given in the form shown here. So we take a look at the number and we see that there are two 10,000s in there. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to indicate that here with a 2. And then we move over to the thousands position and we see there are 3. And in the hundreds position, there are 7, and then there's 110, and there's 6 ones. So there's the expanded notation. In this section, we're working with Babylonian numerals, and they want us to write the Babylonian numeral shown here as a Hindu-Arabic numeral. So we need to remember the positional values in the Babylonian system. And those are going to be, if you remember, we have 60 cubed, 60 squared, 60, and so forth. So I see I have only here 2 positions. So this is going to be the 1s, and this is going to be the 60s. Whoops. And the 60 position. And so I see I have 360, so that's going to give me 180 here. And then in the 1s position, I notice that it's using the subtraction, and it's taking 10 and subtracting a 1, so I'm going to be adding 9 here. So this is a representation of the number 189. Again, with the Babylonian system, now we want to write the Hindu-Arabic numeral as a Babylonian numeral. And again, you want to remember the positional values. And again, there's 60 cubed, 60 squared, 61, and so forth. And we want to find the highest positional value that's less than the number that we're trying to represent, and that's going to be 3,600. So down here, I take our number that we're trying to convert and divide by 3,600, and I get 4 with a remainder of 238. And the 238 is going to drop down to the next positional value, which has a value of 60. So I'm going to take 238 and divide by 60. And I'm going to go ahead and circle because these are the numbers I'm going to need. I've got a 4 and then a 3. And then the 58 is less than the 60, so that's going to go into the single units position. So let's take a look. So my first position, I need 4, and I need 4 times 1. And so I notice that I can eliminate I can eliminate answer A and D because in the first position there, they don't have 4s. B and C do. And then the next positional value I needed was 3. And I notice in B, I've got 4, and then I've got a space, which means I'm going to the next positional value, and then I've got the 3. And then I need the 8. And if I take a look here, I see, and again, I'm using the subtraction, I've got 50. And then I see a 10 and minus 2. So that would be 10 minus 2 is 8, and that would give me the 58. So the correct answer here is answer B. Now we're going to go to the Mayans. And the Mayans write vertically like the Chinese did. And the positional values in the Mayan system are 18 times 20 squared, 18 times 20, 20 and 1, or 7,200, 360, 20 and 1. And so this particular numeral here has 3 parts to it. And we see the top part, which is going to be 3 times 360, and that's worth 3. So I've written that here, 3 times 360. And then I drop down to the next positional value, and it's going to be 16 times 20. And then finally, I've got 12 times 1. And if I go ahead and multiply and add those all up, I get the number in our system of 1,412. And now I want to go from our system to the Mayan system. And the number we're trying to convert is 9766. So again, I look at the positional values, and I'm going to divide 9766 by the largest positional value less than 9766, which is 7,200. And so I get a 1, and I'm going to circle that because I'm going to need that. And the remainder of 2566 drops down to the next positional value. I'm going to divide by 360, and I get a 7 with a remainder of 46. 46 drops down to the next positional value, and I get a 2 with a remainder of 6. So I'm looking for 1726. So a 1 is a single dot, and I can eliminate A because that doesn't have a single dot at the top. So I've got B and C, and then I need a 7, and if I look up here, the symbol for 7 right here is, I see it in C. It looks like C is the correct answer. Let's go ahead and check. The next one I needed was a 2, and the last one I needed was a 6, so indeed, choice C is the correct answer.